Secretary Pompeo, Minister Bishop has recently expressed concern about China's creeping strategic and economic influence in the South Pacific. I wonder what you think about this and how the US intends to respond to this. Are you concerned by this? And Secretary Mattis, a US Congressman, Joe Courtney, recently said he'd like to see Australia conduct a unilateral freedom of navigation operation in the South China Sea within 12 nautical miles. While respecting that that is Australia's decision, would you, as Defence Secretary, like to see Australia do such a thing? And finally, to Minister Bishop, the Australia-US alliance is very strong today, but Donald Trump has proved to be a transactional president when it comes to some close allies. Are you confident that the alliance could withstand any buffeting from an unpredictable president?
Well, I feel compelled to answer your third one too, but I'm confident Foreign Minister Bishop can handle that. Let me speak to, we spent a lot of time over the course of the last 2 days talking about how to maintain a free and open Indo-Pacific. That threat emanates from lots of places. Certainly China poses concerns there. And we talked about all the various elements of power, economic, diplomatic. You talked about freedom of navigation. I'll let Secretaries Mattis and Secretary Bishop speak to that a little more directly. But I don't think anyone should underestimate the United States' continued commitment to this. We do it in different ways. We're a democratic society, so our power is projected in ways that are unique and different from the way that countries that aren't so free and democratic project their power. And I think the South Pacific, like most places in the world, understand the enormity of having an American ally, the enormity of having a country that consistently over decades projects the democratic values, the human dignity that comes with having an American partner is different from having partners that aren't quite that way. And I think over time that will ultimately prevail, not only in the South Pacific, but all across the world. I think the capacity of America as a partner to inspire and to create a place where we value our partners in a way that is continuous and noble is unique in history, and one that I think the world fully appreciates. Jim?
Well, we're totally aligned, Australia and the United States, with what we want as an end state in the Pacific, and that is, of course, the free and the open Indo-Pacific, where nations large and small are treated with respect for their territorial integrity, for their sovereignty, their sovereign decisions. And I think that as we look at the South China Sea, our concern is that features that have never been militarized before have been militarized by the PRC. We've been very, over several administrations, we've been very clear, we disagree with that. But as far as freedom of navigation decisions by Australia, that's a sovereign decision by a sovereign state, and we coordinate, collaborate across the realm in terms of our military exercises, our military operations, and right now we'll just leave that decision with the people of Australia, which is exactly where it belongs.
The relationship between the United States and Australia is long-standing, deep, enduring, and at this meeting we committed anew to working together in furtherance of our alliance and our objectives. We are committed to an open, prosperous, inclusive Indo-Pacific. We're committed to the rule of law and the international rules-based order that has underpinned stability and prosperity, relatively speaking, since the United States instigated that rules-based order over 70 years ago and continues to be the defender and guarantor. We have already established a very close working relationship with the Trump administration right from the outset. And as we've often said, the relationship is so deep and so enduring that changes in the White House and changes in the Lodge in Canberra don't dent the strength of that relationship. We have a very open and frank dialogue with the United States, with our counterparts, but also President Trump and Prime Minister Turnbull have established a very close working relationship. We don't always agree with the United States, and the United States doesn't always agree with us, but we are able to work through any differences in a very constructive and positive way, and we'll continue to do that. I want to take this opportunity to thank the United States for the commitment to working with us in relation to MH17 and holding Russia to account over its role in the downing of that Malaysian airline that killed 298 people, including 38 Australian citizens and residents. And that's just an example of how we rely on the United States and how we are grateful for the support that they give us in relation to a matter that is very dear and personal to the hearts of all Australians. So, from my perspective, and this is my 5th Osman, from my perspective, the relationship is as deep and strong as it's ever been. And I'm certainly looking forward to working with Secretaries Pompeo and Mattis as we work through that fact sheet that I believe has been handed out that just gives you an indication of the breadth and depth and the diversity of the areas where we collaborate and cooperate and will continue to do so.